So there have been some new market developments in the private jet space, and so we're going to be talking about these developments today in this episode of Biz Jet TV. If you haven't subscribe to the channel, and of course get yourself a copy of The Quantum Economy, my new book, which is just out, and you can click on the link below to get yourself a copy, all about, you know, the economy of the future, the trends, and how private jets are going to be playing an important role. And in here there's also stories of a lot of people that are using private jets as a business tool, and read how they do it, and you can learn from that. Only 170 pages, quick read, so get yourself a copy, click on the link below. So I'm your aviation advisor, my name's Fabrizio Poli. Let's look at what's been happening in the private jet market. We just had eBase last week in Geneva. I didn't go this year, but those that went said it was a good show. It wasn't as well attended as they hoped for, but usually at these conventions, new stuff's announced. So there's a few bits of news which I'd like to share with you and comment on what's going on. So the first thing is CPDLC. What is CPDLC? It stands for Controller Pilot Data Link Communications. Now that is due to resume on the 31st of August of this year, 2023, for private jets. It's been suspended for a while. Only the airlines have been using it, and there's about 1,000 private jets which are enrolled in this program. Now, what does this allow you to do with your private jet, and why is it a good thing to have? If you're going into, you know, very busy areas like, you know, London area or New York or whatever, what you can do is your airplane can actually communicate with the air traffic controller via text messaging, so to explain it in layman's terms, and receive your clearance and that. And this allows aircraft to be able to, let's say, you know, jump the queue, so to speak. But those aircraft that are equipped with CPDLC will have, you know, the right of way compared to those that don't. And there's a lot of talking going over the radio, and that it just makes things easier for the air traffic controller and for the pilots. So if you're planning on buying an aircraft and you're doing these long distance flights, or you're going into these busy areas like could be Paris, Frankfurt, London, New York, Dallas, you want to be equipped with CPDLC to enable your aircraft. You know, you won't get as many slots. You get in and out quicker, and at the end of the day, as I always say, when you're buying a private jet, or you're operating a private jet, in reality you're buying time, not an airplane. So you want it to be equipped with this kind of thing. So it's good news that CPDLC is back for private jets on the 31st of August. Next piece of news, which is interesting: Kawasaki invested in VOLTAERO, which is a French company developing a hybrid electric aircraft. Kawasaki, you know, obviously Japanese motorbike company, investing in this project, which is interesting. There's lots of talk about electric. In fact, a lot of talk at eBase was about electric aircraft. I'm a bit critical. I don't think, you know, we're going to be going fully electric. I think there's quite a few challenges with the batteries and that at the moment. So those companies that are offering hybrid solutions, I think, you know, have a better chance of coming to the market and being successful. And this is why, you know, Kawasaki invested in VOLTAERO. So this is an interesting project, and of course there will be developments there as more money's pouring into this. And always on sustainability and that, sustainable aviation fuel was another subject which was talked about. Bear in mind that, you know, aviation only contributes to 2.5% of the Earth's pollution. So all this talk about airplanes being bad and evil and ruining the planet, in particular private jet users, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is actually not true. So you really need to look in the real data. But, you know, we do have to do our little bit in making the planet a better place. It's the only planet we have at the moment. Until we can go to other planets, we have to look after the one we have. And in any case, we still have to look after it. So one of the talks was e-fuels, which is a derivative of hydrogen, which is something that Rolls-Royce are working on at the moment. The challenge with these new alternative fuels is having it available at airports. So, of course, those airports where there are bigger airplanes, because bigger airplanes buy more fuel, are going to have, you know, the means to be able to deliver that type of fuel. The smaller airports, particularly those that just cater for private jets, you know, the infrastructure needs to be put in place to offer sustainable aviation fuel as an alternative. And of course, you know, not all engines can use the sustainable air fuels, aviation fuels. So this is something that a number of engine manufacturers are looking into, aircraft manufacturers, and lots of talk about how to develop this. So that was good that that's happening. Then we've got the NATA, the National Air Transport Association, is going to be meeting in Washington, D.C. June the 21st and 22nd, and they're going to be talking about private jet charter because, you know, this is on the increase because a lot of airlines, particularly the regional airlines, have scrapped a lot of routes after COVID. And so some of these places, remote places, don't have the airlines going there anymore. So private jet travel is on the increase, and one of the problems with private jets is a safety record. As I've talked about before, it's 9.2 times worse safety record than the airlines. So they're talking about SMS, which is Safety Management System, and this is something that some airlines have. It's a monitoring system in the cockpit, monitoring the pilot and the parameters at which they fly. One of the things that's causing accidents is unstable approaches. So the SMS system will monitor the pilot. The pilot will be able to, have a look afterwards at how he or she performed the approach, and hopefully this will help the pilots fly safer. And this is important. And also, safety management system can report back to insurance companies. It can report back, and that data can be used also as marketing thing. If your company has pilots that are flying really well, and the SM system will tell us that. So I think this is good, and this is going to be quite center stage at the conference. GAMA, which is the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, has reported that 117 new jets were delivered between January and March of this year, 2023. This is on par with last year. So new deliveries are happening. Lots new orders have come in. Larger charter companies are increasing the fleet. Tradewinds Aviation just added another 5 PC-12s to their fleet. NetJets just ordered 250 Praetor 500s. So they're increasing their fleet. Also, other fractional ownership companies like FlexJet have increased their fleet, placed in a lot of orders. So this is happening because we're seeing private jet travel increase, and that's the orders are coming in. Another thing which was featured at eBase was the new Dassault Falcon 6X, which is 5,500 nautical miles. Falcon have ditched the 3-engine concept and offering 2 engines on their 6X, which is interesting, and we'll be talking about the 6X in a future video as well. And of course, the eVTOL was talked about as well, with Lilium Jet taking center stage. This project, built in Germany, raised over $1 billion. They've got a 7-seater as well. This will be certified in the next year or two, and it's also received lots of orders, including one from NetJets, the fractional jet ownership. So certainly Lilium Jet is going places, and all the money they got behind them and the orders and that will certainly lead to certifying this eVTOL sooner than others. And if you haven't read my articles in AvBuyer magazine about the eVTOL market, you can click on the link below to have a look at that. And that's really it for this news update on the private jet market. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, get yourself a copy of The Quantum Economy. Click on the link below for that. And if you want to have a chat with me about your needs private jet wise, whether it's charter, whether it's ownership, shared ownership, fractional, or whatever, you can click and email me, and we'll get on a call and see what we can do here for you at Efuel Aviation. And that's all from Publicity Party here on Biz Jet TV. Check out this other video playlist that we just recently published about all these private jet owners and how they are using their private jets as a business tool. And I'll see you on the next one.